as you know, I send out this wildly popular newsletter.
I've heard about it every single week.
Yeah, you know what? We have gained almost 15,000 new subscribers over the last week.
A week?
Yeah.
That's
It's crazy.
really cool.
Yeah, I'm really excited about it.
What do you attribute that to? Like a spike like that?
It's pretty typical of when you release a new product that it kind of goes up and then it flattens out, then it goes up and flattens out. But we are taking out some new ads on Facebook and Instagram. So I think that's it. And we're also giving away an iPhone 16.
That always helps.
With Apple Intelligence built in. Not Kim Intelligence. Apple Intelligence.
Almost the same.
It is kind of the same, where you can enter to win at winfromkim.com.
So this story about your success is turned into a plug to mean more success.
So every single day, we ask for feedback about the newsletter.
Okay.
Every single day. And I read just about every note that gets sent. And so you go to you scroll to the bottom of the newsletter, and then you give us like a thumbs up, thumbs down, or thumbs up, obviously, because most people do thumbs up.
Sure.
I mean, just
why even put the thumbs down there?
Actually, we had last time I looked for this month, we had almost 25,000 thumbs ups.
Okay.
And 916 thumbs downs.
That means 25. That's 26,000 people are making it all the way to the bottom of the email, though. That's pretty good.
Yeah, it's pretty exciting.
You should have a thumbs up and then a thumbs sideways, or maybe just slightly tilted.
Just we're not sure.
It's not thumbs down, but
it's almost.
Not
it's
great, but good.
So here's a note that I received, and I wanted to read it aloud to you. So I have to read it verbatim because otherwise you're not going to get it. So I can't just summarize it.
Okay.
Hey Kim. You gave me a good tutorial on how to hide my fooling around, including several things I didn't know about. Not that I needed it, as after many years, I have never been caught. Not everyone considers having sexual affairs a problem to a happy marriage. In my case, many of them were initiated by other married women.
That's the whole message?
Yes.
Thanks for helping covering up all my cheating?
Yes.
Why even put on there that some people don't think it's a big deal if you have to hide it? Obviously, your someone thinks it's a big deal.
Exactly. So then I started thinking about, what kind of tips do we pass along? Well, how to make sure your location isn't saved. How to set up a hidden folder.
Right.
To protect things like your driver's license, your passport. How so many people are now using Google Docs to have affairs, because somebody will look and they'll see a Google Doc projections for 2025.
Right. No one's going to click on that. That's too boring to click on.
So, it's not my intention.
Is it?
No.
Will it now be?
Well, I mean, yeah. He said, not that I need it. After many years, I've never been caught.
So is Ashley Madison thinking about buying some advertising inside of the newsletter?
They should.
They absolutely should.
Okay, and then I get these other types of emails or notes back. They're not really emails. Notes on the newsletter. And so in today's newsletter, I wrote that now when you go to the doctor and they start asking you a bunch of questions,
right?
Like, how are you? What are you doing? Have you been exercising? And you feel when you go to the doctor, I don't know if you do, but I know my general physician. I've known her for, probably 15 years. So I feel very open in speaking with her. You don't feel like you have to lie to make yourself seem healthier than you really are? No, because I'm pretty healthy. But I think even healthy people think that, especially when you go to the dentist, I think people feel like they have to lie. Yeah. I flossed 4 times on the drive here. Well, you're probably right, because when she asks, how much are you drinking? Thank you. Just a couple. Just a couple a week. Yeah, just a couple. That's all. It's not a big deal. Everybody lies to their doctor. And so when you go to the doctor now, AI is listening. And so instead of your doctor transcribing the notes and putting it in your file, that AI is now listening and putting everything that you say into your medical record. Is that AI then bundling it all up and selling it to insurance companies as well? You know what? They're not saying. But yes. You can opt out. But how I went into this particular story is I said, because I like to give it a headline and a catchy headline. So I said, if you ever have a bladder infection, you're in trouble. So catchy. Okay. Was that your #1 story in the newsletter? No, it wasn't. It wasn't at all. It was the #2. Oh, other side. Get it? So Dave said, Bladder infection, you're in trouble. That's a big groaner.
Yes, good job, Dave.
Okay, he says, but you missed part 2. Why is it that we never know when a pterodactyl goes to the bathroom?
Because the P is silent. I mean, go ahead. I don't want to ruin your joke.
It's not mine. It's Dave's. I'm not taking credit for this. I mean, if you ever have a bladder infection, you're in trouble. I'm taking that one.
That's all, Commando.
Not because the P is silent. Okay. So, in case you're ever inclined to drop me a note after you read the newsletter, just know that I do read every single one. And I would love for you to give me some more mom and dad jokes because I'm running out of material.
I got one.
What?
So if you're American in the living room and you're Russian in the kitchen and you're Japanese in the bedroom, what are you in the bathroom?
Peonies?
European.
Oh,
You can use that one.
Thank you. Thank you very much. And on that happy note, welcome. It's Kim Commando. Today, it's your fun podcast about all things digital. I am, of course, America's beloved digital goddess, Kim Commando, here with you once again. And joining me is my very dear friend, sometimes, Andrew Babinski.
Hi, Kim.
So, what do you have for us today?
Robots are taking over sports.
No.
Attack of the robots.
Really?
Yeah, I've got a story. A 147-year tradition is going to come to an end.
Oh, how sad.
Because of AI.
Sad face?
Yeah, sad face.
Sad face.
But it's the future.
So we are at 95,600 people.
I know. It's a good week.
Yeah.
It was actually a really good week for the YouTube channel.
So what do we need them to do?
Subscribe. If you are not one of those 95,600 people, we are trying to get to 100,000. Because if we get to 100,000, guess what? YouTube thinks we're cool. And that's our only goal, is to make YouTube think we are cool. Because once we're cool, we get pushed out. We get put in front of people that have never heard of Kim Commando Today podcast. All you have to do is like, comment, subscribe. That tells the algorithm we're good. We're here every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. If you do subscribe, you know when we go live. You know when we drop new shorts and new videos. It's a benefit. This isn't for us. This is for you.
You know what? You're getting so good at this.
Thank you.
Because in the beginning, let me tell you, you're a little iffy.
Okay.
I mean, you were like, maybe you might want to subscribe, maybe. I mean, if it's not too hard on you,
If you could.
That would be really great. All right, let's talk about hackers have targeted the largest water company in the United States. 14 million
Aquafina?
people, 14 people, 14 states, Dasani. No, it's American Water.
Okay.
And so hackers have infiltrated their systems. They've had to turn off computers. They don't know where the hackers are from, why they are in the water system, but it's not a good thing.
Is it a test? Is it a test to see if they can get there, what they can do when they're around, if they can start shutting people's water off?
Yeah, I'm sure. And they're thirsty for corporate secrets.
Oh, God.
Ooh, yes. Seriously, this is why I always have a couple of cases of water in the house, just in case. Are you still drinking that expensive?
I love it. I just subscribed to it now, actually.
Did you?
Yes. I get 3 18-pack. It's liquid death. And it's this canned water, and I don't know why. It's so delicious. It's so expensive.
Yes. I tried it. I didn't taste anything different.
There's something wrong with your taste buds.
No.
It is delicious. And it's also in a can. And anything in a can is like, I think, 25 degrees colder, and I love it. So now I don't have to order anymore. It's just going to come on a subscription basis. It's not.
This is not a commercial.
I guess get on these little things, and I'm hooked.
MoneyGram. I've never used MoneyGram.
No, neither have I. No.
Okay. 150 million customers, they were exposed.
That's half this country.
Okay. Names, addresses, IDs, bank account numbers, whole 9 yards. Somebody pretended that they worked there and they got into the system.
It's just too easy.
Oh, but good news is they're offering 2 years of free identity theft protection.
Thanks.
Oh, isn't that fabulous?
I'm going to have to change all my bank accounts, but I get 2 years of no thanks.
No, thank you. Do you remember when Verizon went down?
Yeah, I've heard about it, yeah.
Okay, and nobody said anything about anything?
For days.
Yeah. And nobody still has said anything.
Nothing official.
No. And, there's normally like big companies will come out and they have a responsibility to their shareholders and to the public where they'll say, it was a human glitch. It was a problem.
Right.
It was somebody who hit a wrong button.
Somebody spilled a cherry Coke on a big computer and it fried.
Well, they're not saying it for sure, but they're thinking that communist China was behind that whole outage. Hackers, they say, probably gained access to systems used for court-approved wiretapping and eavesdropping.
So I don't know if this is a strong statement. I'm saying that sounds like a pretty big deal.
Yes. It's
If China is attacking our telecommunications.
And they also think that they're going after AT&T and a company called Lumen Technologies.
Okay.
I don't know who Lumen is.
I've heard of it before.
So that's pretty frightening to me.
Yeah.
Like,
Now, are we doing it back? Are we going over there and going after their cell phones and trying to hack into their stuff?
well, nobody's saying anything about that.
That means if we are, we're really good at it because we're not getting caught.
No, we would just say like, it was a glitch.
Yeah.
It was the cherry Coke again.
Control Alt Delete.
Okay.
Sorry.
It was a Red Bull. Do you play poker online?
Yeah.
Do you ever think like you're playing against a bot?
I don't play for real money.
Oh,
I go to the real money sites, but then because it's good, the technology is good, it's a really fast interface, but I just play for fake money.
what they're saying that if you are playing for real money, is that the bots are winning more often, even beating the sharks that are sitting at the virtual table.
Well, another bad thing about that is you're probably most likely playing at a table where you're playing against one person, but there's 5 people at the table.
Oh.
It's just one person who has multiple accounts, loads up a table, waits
Oh,
for
really?
someone
Is
that
that what they
comes
do?
in. Yeah, and then they take all their money.
Oh, so it's not really the bots that you have to worry about?
It's both. It
Both.
absolutely is both.
So I've never done this. So can you tell when that's going on?
When I've had suspicions where I think I'm playing against a bot and I just get out. That's why I don't do it anymore, because I think it's fixed against you.
Yeah.
I think, and there's also, you can see online, there's got people that expose what they're doing online where there'll be a house full of guys in Florida and they're all just in there working these online poker
Out today.
websites. And they're out there and they're just taking people for all their money. They're the rubes. They're taking the rubes.
I like big bots.
Do you? Would you lie about that?
Yes, I would. Okay. Are your kids learning cursive handwriting?
No.
Not
They
at
do.
all.
Everything is on Google Schools.
Okay, so there's no like. Remember when you had to like do the letters?
No script.
Nothing at all.
And both of my children's penmanship is awful.
Oh,
And they're
really?
6 and 10. Yeah, it looks like chicken scratch. But now I never learned cursive either.
You didn't?
No, because when I moved schools, they're like, he's too smart to be in the 4th grade. Let's test him out of it. And I tested out of the 4th grade and went to the 5th grade. And the 4th grade is where you learn cursive.
Oh,
So I have no idea.
So is your signature really bad?
No, it's just like a circle in a line and then a B in a line.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So it's not really. I mean, my signature is amazing.
Is it amazing? Wow. I've never seen someone brag about their signature before.
No, actually, it's pretty bad.
Okay.
That's when Barry always says, like, I write something. He's like, you have the signature of a serial killer.
I was signing out a card, like a Hallmark card, and I was doing deer or whatever, and someone's like, no, you need to do it in script so that it looks pretty. And I'm like, I don't know how.
Don't know how.
I only know how to do like 7 letters.
Well, 1/5 of all adults between the ages of 18 and 24 have a personal signature. So
That's
that means
it?
4/5 don't have a signature. So that means like if they have to sign something like a legal document, they may sign it one way,
Right.
and then another time it looks another completely different. And
That
then it
is
looks
such a
completely
low
different.
number.
Yes.
I actually already have my 10-year-old practicing his signature.
Oh well, that's good.
Yeah, because he's not going to learn it in school, and I think it's important to have a consistent signature. But now they're all digital anyway.
I know, and the authentication is going to be by biometrics.
Right. But have you ever had your finger on a phone to sign something?
Oh yes.
It never looks like, it's just squiggles.
No, and why would you?
And they totally accept it. It's
Yes,
legally
it's like-
binding.
It's like this.
It's totally just squiggles.
One time, I forget where we were checking out something, and I needed to sign something. He's like, "I'll do it," and he did like a happy face, like
There it is, clear. Who
whatever.
cares?
I mean, so writing your name in cursive is no longer a signature move. Oh,
Can we go back to the emailers jokes? At least I giggled at those.
thank you, Dave.
Yes, thank you, Dave.
Hey, it's Kim Commando today. It's your fun podcast about all things digital. Now, I know you're sitting there wondering, is this the Kim Commando Show? No, it's not. The Kim Commando Show is the award-winning show. It's the biggest show. It's the best show about all things digital on hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of radio stations, not just, one station like, you're on. Just
This is a plug. It doesn't have to turn into an insult session.
Well, in case you're looking for the Kim Commando Show, what you want to do is wherever you get your podcast, is search for Kim Commando Show. With
Or
a K
don't.
first.
Or don't. How about that, huh? Got you back.
Don't listen to Kim Commando. I dare you. Don't listen. Well, on the show, there was a gentleman who called me. This is a couple of months ago.
Okay.
And he was contacted by somebody on Facebook who said that that their aunt was really good at cryptocurrency. And they started just having a little conversation. He never heard from this person before, had no idea who they were. So it's not like it wasn't a friend of a friend of a friend of a friend. This is like a complete stranger. And so they say, you know what? We want to make sure that our communications is secure. So we need to get off of Facebook because we don't want other people to know about how good we are at trading at cryptocurrency.
Let me guess. Did they go to WhatsApp?
Yes, they did. So once they are at WhatsApp, the person says, well, can you give us like $1,000? And he says, okay, I can give you $1,000. Okay. So they start trading the $1,000 in crypto. So he thinks. And then suddenly, would you believe that $1,000 is worth $5,000 in like 2 or 3 days?
That's huge.
Oh, what a return.
Absolutely.
What a return.
His aunt really knows what she's doing.
Oh, yes, exactly. And it was the friend. It was the aunt of the new person, that new friend on Facebook. So, over time, he gives them $100,000. Okay, and that $100,000 looks like it's inching towards like $500,000.
Again, same percentages, same return he got with his 1,000.
He's doing phenomenal. So he called me because he was doing so well. They wanted like another $40,000 from him. And so he really wanted to know if this was going to be a good investment for him.
Well, he's already made $400,000, of course.
So I explained to him that this was this was not true. This is not going to work. That this is called a pig butchering scam. And he didn't want to believe me.
Of course not.
I mean, he's like, no, this is legit. This is legit. And I finally said to him, I think his name was Dave, you are a pig. You're greedy. And you are getting butchered. And I think the light went off in his head. But who knows? He probably gave him the other 40 grand. And then see, it's all pretend,
right?
It's behind the scenes. So the reason why I bring that up is joining us right now here on the podcast a gentleman by the name of John Griffin. He is a finance professor at UT Austin, and he's done so much research on pig butchering. I thought that we should have a little chit chat.
Yeah.
Joining us right now is John Griffin, finance professor at UT Austin. Now, you did a whole bunch of research about this, right, John?
Yes, my co-author Kevin May and I wrote a pretty comprehensive research paper about this. I've worked in crypto before, but this paper was specifically about getting the crypto addresses of people that were scammed and then tracking the money on the blockchain and seeing what happens from that.
Well, we should back up just a little bit because I was just talking about a pig butchering call that I took on the show. And when you see all these transactions that you think are happening to your positive, to your benefit, that it's all bogus. Right? It's all smoke and mirrors. Sometimes it's videos, sometimes it's just software that they wrote.
That's correct. What happens on the blockchain is once they transfer the money out of an exchange like crypto.com or Coinbase, they move it out of a secure exchange like that, and they move it onto a fake platform. But the moment they move the cash, it's outside of their control, and all of these other transactions that are happening are fake. And so they've actually already lost their crypto, even though like in the example you gave, when that person transferred the $100,000, at that point they lost the control of the $100,000, and they didn't realize that, though.
And so, how much money are we talking about? I think I saw a number. What was it, like 70 billion or some crazy number?
That's right. There's some nuances to that number, but basically what's going on here is that this scam is massively underreported. As you mentioned, a lot of people can't believe they've been scammed, or there's a lot of shame and shame. People feel shame. Maybe they shouldn't feel shameful about it, but some people put the numbers at only maybe 3% of folks that are scammed actually report. Maybe it's higher than that. We don't know exactly, but what we do is to try to gauge the size of this is we take the addresses that were scammed, and then we trace those out on the blockchain to see where the capital is going, and then we capture those endpoints where the capital is money is flowing, and those crypto endpoints are kind of like bank account numbers. So they're deposit addresses on exchanges that have moved criminal flows through them, and then we aggregate all the flows flowing through those deposit addresses, and we find, when we do a algorithm looking at those deposit addresses and related deposit addresses, we find the tune of about 75 billion. Now, that doesn't necessarily mean it's all due to pig butchering. This could be other criminal activity that these people are involved in, and there could also be activity that we're missing, because we start out with only a subset of the crypto activity of people that have gotten pig butchered.
So where is it going? When you do all this tracking, is it going to a certain region of the world? Is it going to a specific area?
That's right. It's going from west to east.
Okay.
It's basically coming out of the U.S. and Western exchanges, crypto exchanges, and it's moving over to crypto exchanges that kind of flout customer KYC laws and have loose KYC procedures, which are primarily in Asia. And so we know from other evidence that there's organized criminal gang activity in Cambodia, Laos, Myanmar, and other places in Southeast Asia, even the Philippines. So these are the end destinations of these, but the exchanges they move through primarily have a Southeast Asian presence.
Okay, so explain how Tether works in this whole process.
Well, Tether, I don't know how much folks are familiar with Tether, but Tether's in some sense similar to a digital dollar that's not backed by the U.S. government. So I actually wrote a previous paper on Tether, and we showed that at times it wasn't backed as they claimed it was, and that it was being printed and used to manipulate Bitcoin back in 2017-18 period. So it has a very sketchy past, and but it hasn't been shut down, and it's a cryptocurrency that exists on many blockchains, and particularly we're tracking it mostly on the Ethereum blockchain is where most of the activity is happening now. And so what's happening there with Tether is they're moving money out of exchanges like Coinbase and crypto.com. They're moving the money out in other cryptocurrencies, and then they quickly swap that into Tether. So it's a question, why do they swap this into Tether? We don't know the exact reason, but one reason is it could be that criminals like to have have actual dollars or numbers that aren't changing. If you have ETH, and the ETH fluctuates from day to day, whereas the Tether is kind of pegged to the dollar. So it makes it easier if you're a criminal network to know exactly how much money you're bringing in on a daily basis, and then you can split the profits among the various players.
And then can you get like honest to goodness currency out of that? Is that what they do on the next step?
That's right. That's why, even though crypto was set up to be this decentralized space where everyone trades, despite the rare cases where people use Bitcoin to purchase something real like a pizza, for the vast majority of transactions, you need hard currency, hard fiat. And so that's the role that these centralized exchanges are playing. So really the main role that the cryptocurrencies are playing is just moving the money from the victims internationally over to these crypto exchanges. And then at that point, they're swapping them into dollars and other fiat currencies.
Is this pig butchering unique to just cryptocurrency, or is this something that the scammers could have come up with other types of investments?
Well, what's unique about this, I think, is how quickly and low cost they can move funds overseas. Our paper shows that all the blockchain transaction cost that they face from moving the currencies from the crypto from west to east, it amounts to about 87 basis points. So half of a credit card transaction fee, and they can move the money all the way from Coinbase
That's crazy.
to Binance or Huobi, OKX, one of these. And at that point, they do have to pay some exit fees to get into hard cash. But at that point, they mostly laundered the money already. So they're engaged in massive money laundering, which can be quite expensive to gauge in money laundering. So historical estimates put money laundering at least at like 20% in some studies. So for them to be able to do so at 87 basis points is really quite cheap.
So, so have you gone into anything as far as like who are the scammers? I mean, and are they human trafficking victims that are doing some of these scams? I mean, this is a big operation.
That's right. We believe that most of the activity we observe is due to human trafficking victims. There's not a lot of human trafficking victims that put their information out there, but we did get through a nonprofit. We did get the address of somebody that paid ransom payment, and that address was smack dab in the middle of all of our payments. And so what that means is the same people that are scamming people in the U.S. are also getting human trafficked. And there's documentaries about this, but basically they're average people think that they're getting a tech job. Maybe they fly into the Bangkok airport, and in fact they're taken to the border with, say, one of these neighboring countries, and then they're basically locked up, their passports taken, and they're told that they have to make so much quota a day, or they're not going to get out, or they're going to get even beaten. Gosh. So it's pretty crazy. Some estimates put 220,000 people in these compounds, but the truth is we really don't know. It could be more, because this is a growing crime, and the magnitude of these compounds have grown rapidly. If you just look from images from outer space in the areas where these compounds are, there was just like raw farmland 4 years ago, and now there's these massive compounds with buildings that can house, even like 500, 1,000 people in some of these buildings.
God, it's it's unfathomable. I mean, to think like this is where we are at as a society, that we have human trafficking victims purporting to be somebody who knows somebody or involved in crypto, and they're being tortured if they don't make their quota, and to the tune of, what'd you say, John, $75 billion?
Well, I mean, that's over the 4-year period that we examined, but it's been an activity that's been growing over time, and that's the total magnitude flowing into these networks, these criminal networks. So you can imagine it's quite profitable if you're paying somebody nothing and they're able to, or just have to pay their living expenses and so forth. Maybe the costs are like $10,000 a person, and then they're able to scam someone out of $700,000 over the course of the year. All they have to do is hit one jackpot like that, and then they've more than paid for themselves. So it's an extremely profitable, dark business, and because it's so profitable, I think that's why it's growing. These people are using their proceeds to build more and more compounds, and so it's going to continue to grow until we can stop it. But I think the interesting thing about our paper is that I think there's lots we can do to stop it. We have a lot of practical implications coming out of our paper in terms of how they're doing this, that it's not unstoppable. These entry and exit points could be closed up, and we can be doing a lot more.
And why aren't we?
Well, I don't want to minimize the fact that people are doing things. DOJ and FBI, they're working on this, and Foreign governments are working on this, and so they are really trying to stop this. I think we are massively overwhelmed. I think
I'm sure.
the sheer size of this is overwhelming. In my opinion, I don't know this for a fact, but I think it's massively overwhelmed the U.S. law enforcement. And then also there's some coordination issues where you see that local law enforcement is trying to handle this. But you can imagine if this is an organized criminal network, why does some even in a major city, they don't have the tools to examine cryptocurrency fraud and so forth. So there's plenty of stories with victims that are having a hard time finding someone to help them, someone work. And the truth is, by the time they reach out to law enforcement, in many cases, it's going to be too late. Their funds have already stolen. Yeah,
they're done. So, hey, John, thank you for being here. I know you have to go teach a class. So, because I thought you got all dressed up for us.
No.
Yeah. No, unfortunately not. But the students don't appreciate it anyway. So hopefully you guys appreciate it.
I do. I think it looks great. Matter of fact, I was going to tell Andrew, he looks kind of schlubby sitting next to you. I mean,
more than kind of.
Yeah, we want to make sure that the students know that I'm serious, so they better be serious. So I got to send a subtle message.
Look at me. I got a nice jacket on.
Fine.
Okay.
I'll wear a tuxedo next time we do the podcast. Okay.
Hey, John, thanks for being here.
All right. Well, thanks so much.
Tell all your students to get my free newsletter.
Oh God.
All right. Thank you.
Oh, you just kind of blew me up on that.
So I got approached by one of these pig butcherers.
Yes.
Nadia Katrina.
Oh, let me see. My name is Nadia Katrina. I mean, you know what? Nadia Katrina, that sounds like she is hot.
Oh, and trustworthy.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Because, Katrina is like a kind of a Catholic name, religious name, like Saint Catherine.
I think she's Russian. She's from Russia.
Oh, I know, but it's like that's the Russian version of Catherine.
And she's running a private program of new and old investors, and she wanted to give me the opportunity to get in, and she promised me good profits on a weekly basis.
Excellent.
And she wanted to know what my budget was. We were going back and forth. I knew exactly what I was dealing with. But we were going back and forth, and I said my budget could be about $30,000.
Excellent.
Or $30,000 dollars in Bitcoin.
Okay.
And she said, oh, great, here's the link, and we can get you an account set up and get you started. And I said, well, before I go and sign up, I had one quick question about this. Is this what the people call big pig butchering, where you have a phony platform where people think they're making profits so that they invest more, and in the end, you steal it all? Is that what you call this? And she said, no, I'm a legit trader. And she sent me the link again.
Did you click the link?
She then blocked me. Oh. No way I'm not going to click the link. She could be inside of my phone within seconds.
Yeah.
Don't click on anything on the internet.
And especially don't trust anybody by the name of Nadia Katrina.
No, we're going out next week on a date, but otherwise I'm not trusting her with any of my Bitcoin.
Nadia Katrina.
Joke's on her. I don't even know how to get in my own Coinbase wallet. So my money is safe.
Hey, I'm still holding Ethereum. Hey, it's Kim Commando today, and we are still accepting all of your questions by voice memo. Yes, and I'm loving this, by the way. Just go ahead and say, hey, whoever your little assistant is, and say, I want to make a voice memo, and then will pop up on your phone, the voice memo app, and then you can record a message that you can send directly to me. That's right. There's no middleman. There's no all these people like, oh, I don't know if Kim wants to listen to this one. And you want to make them nice. I mean, I got one and I deleted it, and it was he said he was from California or something like that.
You just delete everyone from California?
No, because he said something. It was like, you know what I want to do to you, honey?
Oh,
it's not too nice.
It was a little on the blue side. He was working blue.
Yeah, and it was kind of like a sexual type thing, and we take digital questions here.
Just take it as a compliment.
That's true.
Yeah,
it was like that one guy that sent a note. He thought I was a guy.
Yeah,
for sure that I was trans.
He slowed down the YouTube video to make sure he did his analysis.
Oh.
And he knew she was a trans person.
Because I
I don't know how I'd be here, but
Science?
there is that.
Yeah.
Okay. So you can send us your voice memo to podcasts@commando.com. That's podcasts@commando.com. All right. Joining us is now Ian. Now, in case you don't know who Ian is my offspring.
Oh.
Ian.
Not a test tube baby either.
No.
Legitimate offspring.
Yeah.
What a
Yes.
touching way to introduce your own son. This is my offspring.
No, he's my fabulous son.
Thank you.
And I said something about you in the newsletter, and I said he's a USC graduate. And then somebody wrote, "Wow, you're bragging, Kim Commando."
Yeah, of course. That's what we do as parents.
Yes.
We brag about
exactly.
our kids.
Exactly. So Ian's here joining this podcast because we have a new segment, relatively new segment, called Gen Z Made Easy. So that this way we can understand what's really going on in that Gen Z head of yours. Because there's a lot of misinformation. Like, Gen Zers don't want to work.
Yeah. They don't.
Gen Zers are all narcissists.
Yeah, they are.
Maybe.
Okay. Gen Zers don't know the value of a dollar.
Maybe.
I was waiting for his response on that one.
Could be true.
Gen Zers are emotional. That they're snowflakes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Not me.
They definitely put their emotions out there way more than any other generation, I think.
Well, it's probably the first generation that was totally raised online too.
That's the thing.
And so what's going on in the Gen Z world now? That's big.
Well, it was a whole little incident that happened this past week. But first, starting off, I think we can all say that we've been guilty of checking our phones, maybe, just glancing at it, while we're driving,
What'd you say?
maybe change the song, maybe get a call, you press answer, you put it down.
I got a story about this.
What's that?
Driving on the freeway,
Yeah.
listening to sports talk radio. Pull up my phone to look up Steve Nash's stats in 2018. And I said to myself, what the hell are you doing?
Yeah.
You're on the freeway.
Going 65 miles an hour.
You don't need to know his shooting percentage for 2018 right now. You can wait till you get home. So, yes, I think it's every generation that does that.
Everyone's been guilty once in a while. But
It is.
What do you guys think of checking your phone maybe in the middle of a hurricane, on slick tires, in a McLaren, on the highway, going about 75 miles an hour, and reading the chat as you're live streaming your entire life for everyone to see with 185,000 people
185,000.
viewing every moment of your life?
And how much is said McLaren worth?
About 200,000.
Okay.
Was this a very popular influencer that did this?
This was Jack Doherty.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Okay. That's an idiot.
Yeah, I don't think this is very smart.
No.
Not too smart.
No.
But this happened last week in Florida during the hurricane.
Was he live
And
streaming because he was in a fancy car, or was he live streaming because it was the hurricane?
A little bit of both, but
Okay.
what he does, he live streams his entire life for everyone to see throughout the day. So it's just kind of what they call an IRL stream is what they do.
In real life.
Yeah.
I
in
knew
real
what that
life.
meant.
I appreciate the translation.
Yeah.
We have some
was great.
people who didn't know what IRL means, and I am just trying.
That's what she's here for. Digital goddess.
OMG, thank you
Yeah.
so much.
That means,
LOL.
oh my God.
Here forever.
All right, so
Are you familiar with Jack?
no, I'm not.
Okay, so
Well,
the scoop.
if I am, it's only because you sent me the video.
Yeah. The scoop on Jack is that he is a child influencer, blew up on YouTube, and made kid-friendly content. No one really had a big issue with him. They were supporting him. He was doing well for himself. And then, like all child stars, he's going through his whole rebellious phase right now, which people aren't a big fan of.
How old is he?
He's 20.
Okay.
And what his whole stick is now is for the past year, he's hired some bodyguards, and he'll go into a mall and he'll kind of press people, say, Andrew, I like that pink polo shirt last week better.
Right.
Really. And then you might charge at me and say, what'd you say?
Right.
And the bodyguards will come up and defend me, and I'll say, yeah,
And this is all for YouTube videos.
this
and
is all
clicks.
just
So it's all for clicks and views.
yeah.
Okay.
Just to upset people, really. So he gets a lot more dislikes than likes, but it's kind of like it's like a bad car crash that you can't stop watching. So, which is really what just happened.
Speaking of the car crash, how bad was it?
It was pretty bad. It was the whole front end was kind of sawed off, and they had to be pulled out of the car by Good Samaritans. But the whole time while him and his cameraman are, breaking windows, and the live stream is still occurring, and he took out his phone. He reached for the Good Samaritan who was pulling him out. He said, "Film me, film me."
Oh my gosh, really?
And he filmed the entire thing, and then he got out the car and he said, "Okay, at least my watch is okay." And he walked around the car to go check on his cameraman. Well, people thought he was checking on him. The cameraman's got blood streaming down his face, everything like that. And he says, Michael, take the phone and record me. And poor Michael's just got all blood going down.
And he wants him to record him?
Yeah. And so then in his typical fashion, what he likes to do, and he's not like a particularly buff guy or anything like that, but he takes his shirt off because he is an OnlyFans.
Okay.
So...
need content for the OnlyFans.
Yeah. So he takes his shirt off and he's going, "Oh, my poor car. And, Michael's sitting there, cameraman.
Bleeding to death.
Yeah, bleeding to death over there. Eventually,
You can find another cameraman.
You can, yeah.
It's going to be hard to replace that McLaren.
That's definitely true. Yeah. So, and then speaking of that, the first responders came and they're helping out Michael and him. And they said, can you please put your phone away? We're trying to
do our
help
job
you
here. Yeah.
Yeah. And he said, he really looked at the first responders and he said, I'm out of $200,000. I just crashed my car. I need to make my money back. I'm sorry. So I'm going to record everything.
I just need to record everything.
Yeah.
Okay, what is wrong with this person?
We talked about this on the show 2 weeks ago about the woman who lost a child.
We did talk about that.
Minutes after,
that was horrible.
Started live streaming. It's just the mindset right now that I cannot connect. I don't even take enough pictures when I take my kids to Disneyland, let alone put my entire life on the internet.
I wouldn't want my entire life on the internet.
I wouldn't want my entire life either.
But if that's how you made your money.
Or if that's some psychological malice that you have that you need to...
They even recorded the dad. They called the dad up and they're streaming the whole thing. And he's, Jack got in a car crash. And then the girlfriend who he represents for OnlyFans and a bunch of other girls who he does represents at OnlyFans. He's a manager now.
At 20.
Yeah. She came over and she made a whole thing about, this is why I pray for him every day. And...
did it get a lot of views?
It did get a lot of views. It did.
Is he going to make enough money to buy a new McLaren?
Probably, I would say so. But it was funny to me because, I was looking at a story on Instagram when all this happened. And I'm clicking through and it's the damage and it's him, his dramatic crash today. And then in the middle of the stories, there's just him posing shirtless with OnlyFans link right here. And then I keep going. And then it's his girlfriend in a bikini, OnlyFans link right here.
You can't laugh. You just did it with our guest.
Well, yeah, I did that. But I thought he's got 100 people at least in his class, maybe 1,000. You could get 10% to sign up to getkim.com.
Always be closing ABC.
ABC.
If anything, you're doing them a favor because there's an iPhone 16 with artificial intelligence that we're giving away.
They should. I mean, yes.
And I'm still on a 13, so I can't win from Kim.
With no battery.
With no battery.
I don't want to throw this one at you without preparation, but did you hear about I can't remember. I don't know if you know all the details. The influencer that was arrested for murdering his own therapist this week?
I don't know the details, but I saw it. I'm not really too familiar.
Don't look at me.
Oh, sorry, digital goddess.
I don't know it.
From what I heard, it was this TikToker, and he made kind of controversial TikToks and whatnot. I'm not really too sure.
Maybe we'll talk research and find out for next week.
Yeah, but
he ended up killing his therapist, and then he went on the run, and they caught him in another state. I don't know.
It used to be like, you didn't really hear about all this stuff.
Right. Now you hear everything.
Yes. So I was just let's go back to Jack for just a second. How do you think he's going to be as a father and as a husband?
Hopefully he'll clean up his act by then. He's got maybe a few years till that happens. So hopefully.
It just reminded me we were talking about, we had a guy working for us, and I don't want to say his name because he follows stuff that we do. Mm-hmm. And he's a cameraman here. And I'll never forget so he had his first child. And he recorded everything. I mean, everything.
We get you.
Okay. And he sent that out and said, look, I have a son.
There's proof.
And I'm sitting there, I'm going like, and then he put it up on YouTube. I'm like, whoa. I wrote him a note. I'm like, might want to like blur some things out right there.
Did you see what Logan Paul did? Because he did something similar like that this past week.
No.
Oh well, his wife was giving birth in the hospital, and he made. Are you familiar with Lunchly?
No.
He made a Lunchables knockoff where
Him and Mr. Beast.
and
Oh, okay.
KSI,
All right. Okay.
where they have their drink and it's just a complete ripoff. And anyway, while his wife is about to give birth and she's laying in the whole
Table and everything, yeah.
table, yeah, he's got the Lunchly and he brings it out. And he's showing you get a Prime bottle, you get the Mr. Beast bar. He's about to enjoy the pizza that he's gonna make while his wife's giving birth. So.
Okay.
There's never a wrong time for a Lunchly.
Never.
Never.
That
Not
is
even your dilated 8 centimeters.
Okay, I wouldn't do that. Okay, well, let me back up.
We found her line, ladies and gentlemen. We found her line.
Finally.
When I was giving birth to Ian, they were I had to have a C-section, and because you didn't want to come out, it was just like it's moving day.
All right.
Okay, and so
Tell the world. Yeah.
so I'm sitting there laying on the table and they're getting ready. And the anesthesiologist comes over and he's like, okay, I'm going to give you the needle, blah, 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 whatever they say. And I'm like, yeah, whatever. And he said, I just want to tell you, I love your show. I am so, and he starts going on. I looked at him. I actually looked at him and said, now is not the time.
Right.
Okay. Hey, it's Kim Commando Today. It's your great podcast about all things digital. Don't forget to like, subscribe, follow the channel, and be sure that you enter to win. Just one last plug for that. Make sure that you enter to win that brand new iPhone 16 Pro with Kim Intelligence. Oh, no, wait. Apple Intelligence. And you know what? I've been using it, and it is much better than Siri. I will say that. It's probably at least 80% better than Siri used
That's
to be.
awesome.
Yeah.
That's an exciting price.
I know. I mean, it's, for a while, because, all of us have had that thing, except for you, because you're still my green bubble friend, is that you want to throw the phone because you're like,
It just doesn't work.
Stupid Siri, stupid thing.
Do you still play tennis?
I
I know you're into Pilates now.
I go through stages.
Okay.
I'm really into Pilates now.
Now, I know you used to be a huge tennis player. You
Yes.
love the sport.
I had tennis court.
Did you ever watch it?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. I would watch it because a lot of these tournaments, and the reason why I hesitate, but then I remember a lot of these tournaments because they happen overseas, happen like really early in the morning.
Right.
So I would normally be watching news, but then the tennis tournament would be on, so I'd watch that.
Well, for the first time in 147 years, Wimbledon will not have line judges. They will be replaced by robots. The robots are taking over. Now, this isn't new to tennis. There's tons of tournaments that use this technology already.
Are they using AI?
It is a artificial intelligence mixed with, a bunch of different software. And basically it's a black and white call. There's no opinion when it comes to whether a ball is in or out. It's either on the line or over the line. It doesn't matter. But Wimbledon has been fighting back against this technology for years. And a little bit, it's because of tradition.
Yes.
The line judges are there and it's
Yeah,
recognizable.
the line boys and the line girls.
Exactly. But now they're just saying it's the technology is there. It's too good. The players are asking for it. The fans are asking for it. And for the first time in 147 years, they will be replaced. But this isn't new for sports. The NFL has been testing out chips in footballs. Major League Baseball and the minor leagues, they have robot umpires. In the next decade, we're going to see so many more of these things implemented into sports where the human error is going to be eliminated.
You never want to date a tennis player.
Why not?
Love means nothing to them. A tennis ball. Love, like the scoring.
Reaction.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right, here, wait.
Ian's response was,
Yeah.
Wait, I got a better
Didn't really
one.
get that one, but
I got a better one.
Kim's ending joke, take 2.
Okay. A tennis ball walks into a bar.
Uh-huh.
And the barkeeper says, "Have you been served?"
I thought you said it was better.
Okay, wait, I got one more. One more.
gosh.
Okay, I got one more. I made a website for depressed tennis players.
Did you?
The servers are down.
Oh, God.
Oh god.
Okay, wait. I
You're
got
not
one more.
getting better.
I got
No,
one
just
more. I
keeps
got one
going.
more. Okay. My dad told me that on his walk today, my dog was able to retrieve a tennis ball that landed 2 miles away.
Yeah?
Sounds far-fetched.
Okay.
That was all right.
Cut
yeah.
off the cameras. Okay. I don't want any more of these.
I'm so
I'm not
funny.
a big fan of these robot judges.
No?
No.
You don't think so?
No, because I like seeing the players melt down and scream at the guy.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, but there's
you
gambling.
can't scream at a robot.
There's gambling involved. We got to make sure everything is on the perfect. We need it
fair.
to be perfect.
Yeah,
But it's tradition.
it is tradition.
Tradition. Tradition.
Okay, we went from jokes to you singing
I
musicals.
don't know what's going on.
It is over. This podcast has jumped the shark.
Yeah, we're out of here. Hey, everybody. Thanks for being here. We appreciate it. And don't forget to enter to win. Go to win